Okay. A violent battle is unfolding before the rogue trader's eyes. Patrol ships from the Corda fleet are tearing apart two small Eldari vessels. Once they are finished with them, the void ships give chase after the third, already damaged vessel, clearly with the intention of destroying it as well. Seeing the last ship's impending death, Irliet calls out to the Lord Captain, her voice trembling slightly. Only the rogue trader's intervention can save her kin from the massacre. Send a message to Incendia Corda's fleet, ordering them to stop the battle. The Voxmaster relays the Lord Captain's demand to stop the battle and soon returns with a reply. According to the Corda ships, this group of Xenos are malicious criminals. They are guilty of raiding the system's planets and robbing merchant vessels. Incendia Corda's void ships are intent on performing their duty before the Emperor and exterminating the Xenos. Irliet sullenly watches the unfolding chase through the strained glass window of the captain's bridge. She grimly concedes that no crime should go unpunished, except her kin were flying transport ships. It would have been impossible for them to rob a ship, let alone launch a planetary raid. Vessels such as theirs simply lack the firepower to do so. The Monkey are lying. Analyze the intact Xenoship. Despite the presence of some weaponry, the Xenoship is more likely meant for transporting cargo or the Xenos themselves rather than direct combat. Ask Corda's patrol for proof of the Xenos' transgression. Dang, dude. The patrol's captain is outraged by the distrust. A rogue trader's will must be obeyed, but the Xenoships are currently on the border of the Corda dynasty's holdings. Exterminating any and all enemies of the humanity on the Protectorate trade routes is a direct order from the Lord Captain Incendia Corda herself. I'll try it. I don't think it's gonna happen. Oh, it worked. Unwilling to engage in open battle against the flagship of a foreign dynasty, the patrol reluctantly leaves its prey and retreats to the edge of the system. Meanwhile, the wounded Xenoship is rapidly distancing itself from the recent battlefield, attempting to hide in the shadow of the nearest world. Every attempt to contact it is met with frustration, and the Voxmaster reports that the vessel is in deplorable condition. Who knows how much more of the xenotechnology can endure before the irreparable happens. The Eldari are too scared and resentful of the Monkey for the recent deaths of their kin to answer incoming hails. Despite this, Irilia is certain that she can convince them to cooperate with the Elantog if she is allowed to speak with them. Feel free. Let Irilia speak with her kin. Oh, wow, 10% succeeded. 2 watches pass. and the Xenos finally decide to answer Irliet's pleas concerning the Elentox assistance, guardedly asking how exactly the Monkey can help their vessel. The Eldari note that the humans' primitive technologies are incapable of healing the Eldari vessel's wounds. The sudden benevolence of one human is equally incapable of bringing back those who perished in the recent engagement. Hmm. Mercifully grant the Xenos provisions and medicines. The Xenos half-heartedly thank the rogue trader and turn their ship toward distant stars and inevitable death in the void. No words are exchanged on the bridge, but everyone understands that the wounded ship will never make it there. A few Terran days later, a blue flash at the edge of the system confirms the vessel's unfortunate fate. Well, hey man. And only the thin figure of the Eldari stands motionless against the backdrop of the intricate stained glass windows, mourning the fallen and only the thin figure of the Eldari stands motionless against the backdrop of the intricate stained glass windows, mourning and the fallen in solemn silence. Once the pain in Irliet's soul is numbed, she turns to the Lord Captain and nods, a short gesture of gratitude for their attempt to save those who could hardly be saved. Hey man, dude, this is not going well. I've tried multiple times. I could have let them on the ship, but I've just had way too many bad instances already. This planet is devoid of even the most primitive forms of life. However, the crew has made quite a strange discovery. A mirror lying right in the center of a huge crater. A completely ordinary mirror in a frame, by all appearances, in pristine condition. That's such a bad idea. I'm gonna I can't bring myself to bring it on the ship. I already had nearly died as of late. Destroyed immediately. The crew blasts the crater, raising a cloud of dust that blocks the auger array, confirming the mirror's destruction is impossible for the time being, but it could not have survived such a powerful explosion. Definitely not. Okay, can't even do it again. Okay. A vigilant member of the Augur crew has detected a small Xenos vessel drifting through the void. The ship is unpowered and shows no signs of being crewed. Dude, Xenotech, though. My curiosity just gets the best of me. Send out a shuttle. The squad boarded the vessel without issue. Corrosion has laid waste to the ship's systems, which led to the death of the entire crew. Oh, God. The interior is full of Eldari corpses. No weapons were found on board, and the dead Xenos, judging by their clothing, were not part of any warrior caste, merely the crew of the now defunct ship. Okay, the whole crew is dead. The Xenos Earliet claims to have recognized the symbols of the dead Eldari's clothes. They were civilian refugees from Craft World Cruderok. Lord Captain, according to the telemetry, we are now in the system of Kiaba Gamma, the main industrial world of the von Valancius dynasty. However, our astropaths report that attempts to contact Governor Gaprak have been unsuccessful. But wait, the Voxmaster is silent for a few seconds. Lord Captain, a new report. Kiaba Gamma is sending a request to exchange data. Should we accept it? Reply with our own request. As you command, Lord Captain. The Voxmaster switches to a nearby comm channel to relay your instructions to the crew. For several minutes, nothing happens. Lord Captain reporting. Melf Manufactorum is ignoring all our requests and continues to send us its own. The longer we do not accept their messages, the stronger and more persistent the incoming signals become. I've never seen anything like. Interesting. Dude, you gotta be careful. Always malware, man. Malware. Suddenly, a deafening screech erupts from the bridge's Vox system. You hear violent tirades of garbled binary code like the low chuckles of machinery. Lord Captain, interference detected in the compartment's Vox system. Looks like the bridge is cut off from the rest of the void ship. Sector: Cronus Expanse. Region: Cineris Maleficum. Location: Krenak. Material: Picked report on events on the bridge on approach to Kiaba Gamma. Recorded by Serval Skull Watcher 16. Start of picked recording. The void ship's bridge. Sounds of working cogitators and officers' footsteps. The everyday scene is interrupted by an ear-splitting beeping sound, followed by lumens going out. In the dim glow of candles and emergency lights, one of the officers in frame cuts out. Another falls to her knees, clutching her head. Over the beeping of voxes, shouts can only be heard. What's going on? The doors are locked. We've lost contact with all compartments. Continue sending orders from the bridge and request status updates from the other compartments. The Vox officer salutes and hurries over to the bridge Vox system, to the Voxmaster, who is leaning over her station. Moments later, a cry of surprise. Lord Captain, our transmissions are being distorted as we speak. Depressurize the lower bays. Execute a depths of of the machine cult. Disable the life support systems. If even one command gets out, Jin gives the order to. Assign officers to all control systems to execute manual transmission override and send orders to the other compartments on paper. The rogue trader gathers the senior officers and assigns each to one of the ship's control systems. One monitors the comm line, another prepares written orders. The Boxmaster's unit sets up an internal communication system via comm beads. The crew's efforts are expedient and well coordinated, and within moments, servo skulls carrying instructions from the Lord Captain are diving into the ventilation shaft and vanishing into the gloom. Scrap code. The voice belongs to the on-deck engine seer, who has turned to the Lord Captain from his station. We have been attacked with scrap code, a tech heresy designed to corrupt machines. The transmission received from the planet was infected with this taint, and it is now running through the ship's veins. Omnissiah, preserve us. The Voidborn officer appears before the Lord Captain once more. Whatever it is that's attacking us, we have a backup procedure that can circumvent the Vox barrier. In the atrium leading to the bridge, there is a terminal for an isolated system that might still be unaffected. A loud pop. The pipes over the officer's head. The pipes over the officers' heads. Oh. Gives the order to evacuate immediately. The rogue trader personally oversees the evacuation. Bring the plasma cutters. Get the wounded to the exit. The officers repeat his orders. When the servo skull following the rogue trader reaches the doors, they fall to the plasma cutters and crumble outward. The rogue trader is the last to leave the bridge. Leaning on a support beam, the rogue trader takes several deep breaths, trying to flush out his lungs with air. Then he straightens, smooths his uniform, and heads towards a goal known only to him. The servo skull follows. The atrium is in a state of panic. Silhouettes skitter about in the dark hall, illuminated only by the flickering of emergency lumens. Curt orders and someone's feverish words of prayer can be heard. Having lost all communication, the beheaded ship is writhing in agony. It takes a while for the Lord Captain to find the cogitator mentioned by the fallen officer. The panel of the isolated terminal is riddled with cracks and bloodstains, and on the floor by the terminal, a tech priest is lying in a heap with his head smashed and technical liquids mixed with blood oozing out of his ports. The Lord Captain decides to take his chances restoring the terminal. The rogue trader rips the power key off the tech priest's mechadendrite and opens the cover on the terminal. Sparks fly into his face, but he is confident in his manipulation of tangled wires and clanging levers. After replacing the cover and ensuring that the system is restored, the Lord Captain brings up the required data on the screens. The most problematic situation is on the metal decks, which have been left without any instructions from the bridge since the disaster began. Due to power supply failures, the bay has been completely cut off from the life support systems. The people surrounded by darkness are panicking, and their oxygen supply will last another half hour at most. The Lord Captain knows where help is needed most. He decides to. head to the middle deck himself. Gathering a group of technomats and workers with plasma cutters along the way, the Lord Captain reaches the middle decks. Armored doors separate thousands of people from the rest of the ship, people who have been robbed of light, communication, and oxygen. A wave of the rogue trader's hand, and the cutter gets to work. 10 minutes later, sheets of metal come down with a crash, and a stream of haggard-looking people pours out of the death trap and into the passageways, praising the throne, the Lord Captain, and all that he is holy. Return to the bridge. The walk to the bridge is uneventful. The crisis has passed. Although wounded and crippled, the ship, nevertheless, is returning to its normal operation. Life on the bridge is as bustling as ever. Even though the people are surrounded by destruction, the senior officers have the situation under control, and the people have been organized. The emergency crew have already finished preparing the pipes. The technomats are setting up the cogitators and consoles, and the healers are bagging up what few corpses there are and examining the wounded. By the comm station, the rogue trader runs into the Voxmaster. Praise the Emperor. You're in one piece, Lord Captain. The situation on board is satisfactory. I was in the middle of setting up comm channels. Soon, all the Voxcasters will be fully operational. Lord Captain, the Voxmaster's voice is quivering with exhaustion. The situation has been brought under control, more or less. It will take some time to eliminate the consequences of the attack completely, but the vessel is capable of motion. We may even be able to conduct a warp jump if you feel we should leave the system. Allow me to bring you up to date. Fortunately, the bridge suffered only minor losses. The reports mention only a few casualties and have already been replaced. Kiavagama went silent after transmitting the harmful signal. I will refrain from sending inquiries to the industrial world to avoid a second attack. I am afraid we have exhausted our options for remote analysis. More information can only be obtained by closing the distance or even sending an away party to the planet's surface. The Vox clicks as Heinrichs joins the channel. Jin, we haven't managed to discuss the nature of my mission. I was assigned to your entourage for a reason. Time is running out, so I will be brief. I must be present during your expedition to the planet. I trust the greeting we received from Kiawagama has dispelled your doubts about whether the events on the planet require my scrutiny. The crew is awaiting further instructions, Lord Captain. This dwarf planet is marked on the von Valancius protector charts as Atle, and serves as a backup source of water for the habitable worlds of neighboring systems. Due to the abundance of bacteria proliferating in the Atle hydrosphere, the extraction of ice was stopped half a century ago. But much to your officers' surprise, the augurs detected an unidentified mining rig deep underground. Presumably, the excavation is aimed at extracting clay minerals near the planet's core, enriched with iron and other metals. Contact the Extractium's Vox station. The Extractium turns out to be Incendia Corda's latest investment, whose Mesne is located just within a few jumps from the Chronox system. While this world is of little value to the von Valancius dynasty, your officers see this gesture as an attempt to test the boundaries of the newly minted rogue trader's leniency. Jeez. There's always like a super extreme option. I love it. Magos Pasqal notes the unusual composition of Atlay's cores. Subsequent development will allow the extraction of rare refractory metals. Heeding his advice, the rogue trader decides to keep the extractimum for himself. Your people easily assume control as frightened workers, and the token security crew do not even attempt to resist. The extractium's machines are restarted shortly after. The amassed containers filled with precious ore are delivered to the flagship's cargo hold.
Stations, report when manned and ready. Charter course. Unleash your wrath upon my enemies! Macro cannons, annihilate them! Torpedoes, now! Steer us to our target. Lest the incandescent beams scorch our enemies.
The void shields.
Ooh, boy, this isn't good. Oh no.
The vessel's on the brink.
This might be rough.
Charter course. Eviscerate them. Unleash torment. Let destruction pour forth. Unleash the storm of macro cannons. Let the incandescent beams scorch our enemies. Steer us to our target. Macro cannons, annihilate them. Chart a course. us. Torpedoes! Now! Steer us to our target.
Should have gone the other way. Dang, dude, they have crazy range. Charter course. Let destruction pour forth! Eviscerate them! Oh. Dang, dude. Got an achievement from that. That's dope.
Let the incandescent beams scorch our enemies.
Hmm.
Let the Empyrean guide us. Send their souls to the void. Unleash the storm of macro cannons. Unleash our wrath upon my enemies.
Ah.
It lays on our path. Unleash torment.
Oh, I forgot to put the shields up. Oh.
Unleash the storm of macro cannons.
Wow, really? That did not take him out.
Unleash your wrath upon my enemies.
Oh, come on. Dude, just outside. Oh my god. Oh, I forgot to put out the freaking plasma rocket things.
Unleash the storm of macro cannons. Let destruction pour forth. Empyrean, take this sacrifice. Heinrich frowns as his eyes sweep over the manufacturer's dark halls. No solemn ceremony, no personal meeting with the Magi. I fear we are too late, and we won't be dealing with the clandestine heretics after all. Binaric areas of alarm stream out of Pascal's Vox synthesizer. In their neurotic, broken rhythm, you sense a call to arms and a warning of danger. We'll learn nothing by standing here. Let's go. The interrogator nods, continuing to stare into the surrounding gloom.
This explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
Powers unseen, uncover my path.
The cogitator's panels has dozens of breakers, buttons, handles, switches, and other control mechanisms. Before you is an ancient but wholly typical console, intended for the use by people not trained by the mysteries of the administrating to machine spirits. The cogitator is completely silent, but as you approach, you sense the warmth emanating from its metallic casing, a telltale sign that the machine is working. Here's the log. You discover the local data crypt with contents collected by either previous operators or the machine spirit itself. Using your access, you study the archives stored on this cogitator. The vast data repositories contains millions of strings related to receiving raw materials for processing, shipping processed metals, and schedules for sacred rituals to be performed over the machines coming off the production line. The manufacturer once operated like one gargantuan, well-oiled mechanism. The last record is from 2 months ago. You discover the local data crypt with contents collected
by either previous operators or the machine spirit itself. Using your access, you study the archive stored on this cogitator. View the third log data, which is hidden by the protection of the machine spirit. Your knowledge of machine spirits is sufficient to trick the system and subdue it to your will. A false quarry, a crafty manipulation of controls, and you get what you want. The instrumental terminals have already been replaced, and the material delivery systems are being prepared for divine transformation. The execution of the new procedure has been delayed, for there are some in our ranks who doubt the words of the fabricator censor and his votaries, and there are some who are not susceptible to the enhancement protocol that carries our tech comrades to enlightenment. May the deliveries of fate be merciful to them. Inaction is death, and I must be returning to our great work. Praise be the truth that will reveal the path to the knowledge shrouded in darkness. View the second log data. Today, at the Supreme Assembly, the Fabricator Censor unsealed the vaults of the sacred designs and committed those he deemed redundant or heretical to purifying disposal. Today, dozens of standard procedures were lost to be replaced by new ones, which the Fabricator Censor will deliver to those who demonstrate the greatest devotion to serving the truth. But the databanks contain no notion of truth. Could there have been, may the all-knowing one, the gracious keeper, forgive me, an error in the Fabricator Censor's calculations, and you meant to say serving the quest for knowledge? View the first data. Praise be to the Omnissiah, whose mighty and power transforms dead metal to make manifest the holy visions of the machine god. The new protocols received at the synod from the great Fabricator Censor have been executed, despite those who shuddered at the thought of changing a standard procedure. Embolden your hearts, those whose inner weakness breeds errors in personal calculations, for the Fabricator Censor is the conductor of the higher will and the wisest among us all.
I tread a path unexplored.
The lumps protruding under the tech priest's bedraggled red robe hint at the mechanisms implanted in his body. You see his haggard and sickly face under the archaic respirator augmatic. A click, a clank, a barely audible hiss, and only then the tech priest's vox finishes the word. Identification. Request denied. Pasqal turns to you, his visor gleaming crimson, registering anomalous behavior within this servant's organics and an invalid no sphere response. This unit is compromised. Examine the tech priest. You carefully study the robe-clad figure. A black border of necrosis spreads out from around the tech priest's implants. For some reason, his body is rejecting the true flesh. A moment later, you recognize the dominant smell and the bouquet of scents permeating the air around the tech priest, the stench of rotten meat. Who are you? The tech priest clicks his relay. Magos. Custos. The machine sanctum tier identification. Where is the Fabricator Censor? I will only speak Where is the fabricator sensor? I will only speak with the person in charge of this manufacturing. Denied. The irregularity demands execution of Protocol 3942 in accordance with fabricator sensor decree. I will not be doing anything until I meet with the fabricator sensor. Anticipated process disrupted. Execution of disposable protocol recommended. The tech piece draws his weapon and his robe opens. Your senses are hit by a fetid beer rot. I mean, I should have saw this coming.
Your struggles are in vain.
The scriptural prognosis is favorable. Running binary override. Request approved. My vow is to serve. The old Messiah knows all, comprehends all.
I used too much.
If I must. If it serves your cause. I am not your Xenos pet monkey. This tedium has been... If I must.
I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act. I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. Faith without deeds is worthless. Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, you, my Emperor!
Oh! They self-destruct.
God is deaf to your prayers.
Oh, Argenta just...
I need no guidance. The ruin beckons. I will triumph.
High momentum.
Oh, I meant to do move before. Oh.
Victory is imminent. For von Valancius. A tactically sound approach.
Oh, wow, really?
Indeed. At your beck and call. Reduce to dust. My place is at the fore. I will do my duty. It will be done.
Destiny reshaped.
The Emperor is faithful.
Victory is imminent. Indeed. I've seen worse battles than this in my time. At your beck and call. It will be done. Victory is imminent.
Advancing.
Ministration is a holy task.
I understand your intent. If it serves your cause. This tedium is beneath me. I am not your Xenos pet monkey. If it serves your cause. If I must.
No, not worth it.
Deal death with my hands.
I will rise. Faith without deeds is worthless. Injuries will not slow me.
One step closer.
It will be done.
Purpose guides me. I will.
It could do worse, but not by much.
Oops.
I will do my duty. At your beck and call. I took care of this one. Your seneschal is always there for you. Look no further. This wound will make a fine scar.
Your assistance is much appreciated.
Let me help.
Blessed be the hand of the healer.
A small, heavily augmented man in a filthy, tattered robe stands before you. As you approach, he hesitantly looks up at you, his eyes filled with horror. A portable inscriber with a keyboard hangs from his straps on his front, and you can see his detached cerebral cogitator peeking out from under his hood. What's this? Another one of Cultist minions? The tech piece cowers behind his hands, whimpering pitifully. No! No! I'm not a cultist. They tried to corrupt my mind with heresy, but I ran. I am a manufacturer Lex Mechanic Zeta 686. I performed the rituals of the machine spirits of Foundry 95 up until we started going mad. Priests devoted to the Omnissiah suddenly started praising the dawn of something or other. They stopped the belts, and then they desecrated the visages of the sacred machines with unholy symbols. Some of them resisted, the others grabbed them, tied them up, and then they turned their implants to heresy. I saw the madmen, my former tech comrades, deliberately connect those poor souls to corrupted cogitators. I watched as they infected with the scrap code. and did nothing to stop them? I am recording a violation of the commandment of thine own forge be true sentinel, apostate Zeta 86. Your access are hereby revoked. Proceed with your report. The icy rumble coming from Pascal's Vox causes the Lex mechanic to lower his head in fear and contrition. How did you manage to avoid the same fate? I didn't avoid it. They performed the same procedure on me. I felt the touch of unholy code. I allowed it to control me. I abandoned my sacred post and followed one of the traitors, serving his will and gathering all the data for his blasphemous experiments. I was driven by an unholy impulse coming from the depths of my auxiliary cogitator, where the code had lodged itself. Before I found a way to throw off the compulsion, I witnessed horrifying heresy, the extraction of true flesh, and its decomposition on altars, perverse procedures that resulted in heretical abominations. I even accompanied the fallen Magus to Fabricator Censor himself and attended the unholy mass he led personally. It was a wicked ritual, full of willful deviations and blatant inaccuracies, all to create an ungodly monster in the name of the final dawn. You don't act like other priests who were infected by the corruption. The Lex mechanic gestures at the wires and connectors spilling out from under his hood. Praise the gifts of the Omnissiah. I managed to disconnect my external cogitator, which I used for primary data processing. The machine is corrupted. The scrap code is locked inside it, like a beast in a cage. But anyone who tries to look inside will fall victim to their heretical program. My primitive brain has been marked by corruption. I still see their silhouettes, hear their interference. I sense the malfunctions in my augmetics, but I was still saved from the great sacrifice. Oh, blessed are the workings of the Omnissiah and his benediction that shelters the weak from evil. Heinrich tenses over this ever so slightly at the Lex mechanic's words. You see his hand casually stray to the handle of his weapon, but the interrogator is in no hurry to act. You mentioned this monster. Is that some kind of weapon? No. Not those constructs that are melted down in furnaces and sent into the depths of the manufactorum. It is some kind of semblance of a cogitator, a nightmarish parody of a sacred machine, powered not by the Omnissiah's grace, but by the unholy spirit and life force of the unfortunates imprisoned on the lower levels. I don't know much, except that the Fabricator Censor saw that machine as special. It was special to him and to the crazies who defiled the Omnissiah's abode with their obscene blasphemy. For the final ritual, he even called upon one of the Astartes heretics who arrived at the manufactorum after the start of the uprisings. He did something terrible, and only after that they were able to switch the machine on. It is a true abomination. Even standing near it is unbearable. I believe that even those who have been deprived of the Omnissiah's grace still feel its influence on them. Its monstrous power unutilized for unholy computations and chaotic calculations. Whatever that cogitator might spew out at the end of its cycle, no righteous soul should accept its heinous offering. You mentioned someone imprisoned on the lower levels. The lay servants of the main units. They live in isolated segments under the sacred machine halls. I heard they were locked in there after the takeover. Then my crazed brethren changed the system for disposing of slag waste and covered the machines in cursed symbols. The Lex mechanic hesitates. After they started the cogitator, they dragged the survivors out of the segment under the machine halls. Well, what the survivors had turned into. You demonstrate exceptional powers of observation and recall for someone who just happened to survive. I'm a Lex mechanic. Gathering data is the purpose of my existence. That's even what they used me for. He trails off belatedly, understanding the subtext to the interrogator's words. They used me against my will. The scrap code turns everyone into their slave. Before I rid myself of the cogitator, I was forced to serve alongside those who perpetrated these atrocities and witness their obscenities. Heinrichs, what do you make of this? The interrogator tilts his head. Servant of the Omnissiah, I must know more about the final dawn, the fabricator sensor, his mass, and about this machine as well. I could give you the coordinates, but the Lex mechanic drops his head. Even though I was present for many blasphemies committed by those heretics, all the details that were captured and processed by my true flesh are in the augmetic that was corrupted by the scrap code. I am convinced that if I hadn't fought off that foreign compulsion in time, I would have been doomed. The corruption would have spread to my biological cogitator as well. The Lex mechanic taps a finger on the device hanging from his ear on several wires. I swear that no devout tech priest should come into contact with what's hidden in that one sacred device. Heinrich's expression shifts as he stares intently at the disconnected implant and the still intact connectors protruding from under the Lex mechanic's collar. The corner of his mouth twitches involuntarily. Abelard notices the look on Heinrich's face, and once he does, he sighs heavily and looks away. Heinrichs, what are you thinking? Heinrichs does not speak for several seconds, gritting his teeth. Then, in a meditative tone, as though he is musing aloud, he addresses the Lex mechanic. There may be a way to retrieve the cogitator's contents via another device. The Lex mechanic shakes his head in reproach. Even if the very idea of exposing a holy machine to the scrap code wasn't profane in and itself, my augmetics are not universally compatible. They cannot be connected to another machine spirit. They were created to interact within the system of my true flesh, to intervene my compulsor unit and output data via the inscriber. Once I am safe, I swear that I will immediately perform a cleansing rite and destroy it. In other words, there is only one way to extract the data stored in the cogitator. What are you talking about? If we connect the cogitator to the augmetic system, the Lex mechanic will serve as a conduit for transmitting the data. We will learn the details, even if they are incomplete, of the things he saw and heard but is now unable to recall. The Lex mechanic, who has been listening to your discussion in puzzlement, finally understands what is going to happen to him, and he begins to back away in fear. No, anything but that. I'll die. No, it'll be worse than that. I'll succumb to the corruption. I'm begging you, please. I'd rather be burned as a heretic than have the scrap code in my biological cogitator. At these words, Henrichs pauses for a fraction of a second, almost as if he is reconsidering. In failing to offer any resistance against the enemies of the Omnissiah, Unit Zeta 86 lost the grace of his machine rank and was recategorized as a resource of the manufacturer. The defilement and torment of said resource, if committed to advance the struggle against heresy, it will not be deemed an apostasy or malfaction against a living soul. Upon expiry of the unit's utility, disposal is recommended. Iliad watches the scene unfold with something that can be described as fascination, practically spellbound. How easily you commit your kin to a demise worse than death. She glances at Pasqal, and how swift you are to dismiss them as an object. We cannot allow the information to go to waste. One life is a small price to pay for the good of the Imperium. For the good of the Imperium. Like a snake, Henrix lunges at the Lex mechanic, whose mouth opens in the beginnings of a squeal. Pinning the babbling Lex mechanic, Henrix uses his free hand to feel for the connectors of the external cogitator, and then for the socket at the back of his captive's neck. The Lex mechanic struggles a few times, but when Henrix twists the reel on the cogitator hanging wires, the Lex mechanic lets out a chilling howl and arches his back sharply. His hands twitch and leap to the inscriber and begin typing furiously, pounding on the keys with huge force. The scrolls that creeps out of the inscriber's printer continues to grow, undulating in waves of parchment that settle on the floor. The crunch of breaking bones can scarcely be heard over the hammering of the keys. After several minutes, the Lex mechanic's fingers are well and truly crushed, and blood is spattered all over the inscriber, but that does not stop him trying in vain to press the keys with the scraps of bones and skin that remain. Heinrich tears off the parchment and skims his eyes over it, sometimes frowning and looking away as though his eyes are paining him. It will take time to study this in full, but at first glance, the data from the Lex Mechanics cogitator suggests something of the nature of the cult's major preparations. Refitting the manufactorum, accumulating resources, mentions of focus points. These are preparations for a large-scale chaos ritual. It appears the local cogitator, whatever that may be in actuality, is one of the key points in this list. We can learn more if we find the construct that was created on the fabricator sensor's orders. The coordinates are here. It is located here, in the bowels of the manufactorum. Heinrichs casts a final look at the Lex Mechanic, now locked forever in a cycle of mindless motion, and turns away. We had better hurry. Oh, what is this? Fabricator Sensor Cubus. The massive Magus, clad in ritual garb, lets out a binary trill and turns to you. From beneath the deep hood of his mantle, two dimly lit eye implants gaze out at you. You hear another binary tirade, this time clearly addressed at you. What's the matter, little tin comrade? Implants on the blink? Forgotten how to speak properly? You dare address me in the vile tongue of savages? Me, the steward of Kivia Gamma, lord of the machine world? Kneel, pathetic spawn, if you seek swift disposal. You propose that I, the rogue trader of the von Valancius line, kneel before you? I'm giving you 5 minutes. No, not to beg forgiveness, to speak your last words and to offer your final confession. You are one of the troglodytes who once had the gall to oppress my comrades and resist my will, a messenger from the barbarian who drank the sacred unguents bestowed upon her through others' toil. Very well. Then your appearance is a perfect opportunity to teach your ilk a lesson. My name is Cubus Delphim. I once held the title of Fabricator Censor of the Kiava Gamma Manufactorum, but I rejected it, along with the other fetters that hindered progress. Once my faith was flawed and led naive fools from the cult Mechanicus into the darkness of ignorance. Now I am this world's master and serve the true gods. You tread upon their territory, and you do You do not number among their legion servants. Therefore, you must be subject to immediate disposal. As the senior functioning member of the priesthood of Mars, I, Magus Explorator Pasqal Hanneman, declare this temple to the machine god, compromised and forthwith forbid all service within it. I dethrone the fabricator censor, the ignorant heretic who has betrayed the Messiah, and condemn as anathema any and all standard procedures implemented by him. Let the cycle of the blasphemous operations he has put in motion be discontinued. Pasqal switches to binaric, and you hear dissonance burgeoning in the depths of the forged cathedral. Some of the giant mechanisms heed his order and go still, while others, obeying the fabricator's sensor's will continue their work. Crashes, explosions, and the clanging of crumpling metal signify that some dissent among the machines has interrupted the manufacturer's production cycle. Hanneman, liar. You are not with him. Demence Hanneman obeys me. His mind is open to the voices of the void, and the scrap code he created protects my world, and I'll not have you, rusted refuse from the misfit caste of explorators, call me ignorant. This statement is false. Your regalia have been revoked. You have been deemed defective and will be eliminated. Pasqal turns to you and says dryly, initiating heretic search. Designation, Demence Hanneman. I wish to execute the retribution procedure. So you have traded one master for another? I would have expected a fabricator sensor to be smarter than that. The fabricator sensor's vox lets out a piercing, barely audible sound that makes your insides shudder. I will rip out your spinal column and braid it around my staff, you arrogant creature. I usually prefer negotiating to fighting. Fighting destroys property and wastes resources. But in your case, I'm afraid that extreme measures must be taken. You may be driven by your will to fight, but know this, Kiabagama has already been converted. Its lines have been restructured, and its servants have already tasted the fruits of progress. In the crucibles of this manufactorum, torrid liquid metals will be used to forge vessels for sacred spirits. The adepts are already tirelessly delving deeper into new mysteries that were once barred by false tenets. You, servants of fake gods, are too late. The entire might of this world will soon rise up against the anathema and his slaves. So many open admissions of heresy in so few sentences. Sister, how many death sentences would you say his wards were? I cannot answer that, Master Van Calyx. It is not my duty to measure the guilt of heretics. When the Adepta Sororitas appeared before enemies of the Imperium, it is time to fire, not count. And now is one of those times. You know why I like deranged tin cans like you? When you're killed, you would leave behind plenty of useful spare parts. I think I'll make a portable recap machine out of you. Comrades, purge the manufactorum of any random variables. I must prepare the culmination of our great work.
gut the outsiders, let their blood mix with oil. Truth concealed paths.
Acquisition is possible.
The Emperor favors me today. The Emperor sets my path. When the faithful are idle, heresy grows.
The absurdity of your struggle amuses me.
Anyways.
The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. The scriptural prognosis is favorable. Running binaric override. My vow is to serve. Postmortem servitorization denied.
You cannot force me, Elantak. That is beneath me. I approach the designated position. I am not your Xenos pet monkey. I understand your intent. I see you moving. No more. If it serves your cause.
The Emperor is on our side.
Let's see to it. For the throne's glory. Let's see to it.
Rejoice in battle! Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. Cleanse and purify. As the Emperor commands, I act. The enemies of the Emperor will be undone! I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak.
Who are they shooting at?
I'm not injured! I'm enraged!
I need no guidance. I will triumph.
I will not! I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act. Each strike is a prayer. I am his will made manifest. Faith without deed can escape the Emperor's judgment. That is not the Emperor's will.
Purpose guides me. Rumble, mortals!
High momentum.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. Indeed. At your beck and call. No matter the cost. It will be done. At your beck and call. A tactically sound approach. Victory is imminent. Ha! An exemplary strike. Indeed. Grey hair, sure hair. It will be done. I will do my duty. At your beck and call. Follow my lead. It will be done.
The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Running binary code functions successfully terminated.
This tedium is beneath me. If I must. If it serves your cause. I am not your... No weakness is hidden from my sight. This tedium is beneath me.
Everyone, step aside. I won't object to it.
Guided by faith! As the Emperor commands, eradicated.
Momentum.
Doubt is for the weak.
This is beneath me. I will triumph. Whispers, guide my hand.
As the Emperor commands, I act. God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart. Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it. You, my Emperor! Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act.
My place is at the fore.
Heavy is the tread of his faithful.
I'll put my psychic abilities to use. But of course, Lord Captain.
I'll do it. Each strike is a prayer. I woke up with a feeling of wonder.
This pile of human remains carelessly tossed together amidst a suffocating stench. The torn, gutted bodies once belonged to a tech priest, but you suddenly cannot spot even a glint of metal anywhere. All their implants are gone. Suddenly, one of the ravaged bodies makes the tiniest movement. The tortured man's lips move, ever so slightly, his half-closed eyelids twitching. Approach the still breathing man. The man can barely breathe without his respirator implant. It is a miracle he survived the horrific vivisection, but it takes you a single look at the gaping wounds where the augment was ripped out to realize death is only a matter of time. As if having sensed your presence, the half-dead man looks at you and sharply inhales the hot air. Machine spirit, deliver me. The binaric requiem coming from Pasqal's vox sounds solemn and grim. Upon hearing it, the man's mutilated face twists into a weak semblance of a smile. Who did this to you? My comrades, his voice barely audible. It seems each word takes the man a great deal of effort. Machine spirit, has the Omnissiah truly abandoned us? Kiava Gamma has fallen into the maw of the eternal enemy. The holy Magi, they succumbed to heresy. The rest were stripped of their true flesh to find the heresy. Preserve us, deliver me from erring. Sacrifice living blood from vessels of the true flesh while their heart is still beating. After that, oblivion. His eyes grow glassy. I knew you would come. I've waited so very long. Deliver me from my torment. Iriolit's alien, harsh features are graced with something strikingly similar to grief and compassion. Such senseless savagery. What a horrible fate to be betrayed by one's own. I attest that the three categorical requirements for assigning the status of martyr of the faith have been met.
opposition to the enemy, preservation of adherence to dogma, and a brutal death, requesting the right to extract the subject's organic matter for it to be used in the creation of an honorable serval soul. The man, who is minutes from death, wheezes weakly, "It's an honor. I am thankful for the right to serve." Without uttering a single word, Aogun extends a mechadendrite injector bared toward the poor wretch, administering an unknown golden liquid into his neck. The manipulus's face is set in a mask of deepest sorrow. The maimed man flinches only slightly at the injection, but his breathing starts to even out. Despite the oily film clouding his eyes, the faint ghost of gratitude shines through. Steel your heart, servant of the Imperium. Your words will help me bring down those who have betrayed Kiavagam. Pasqal, your request is granted. Leaning over the dying man, Pasqal, in a decisive yet surprisingly respectful motion, cuts his throat, wielding a long scalpel. It takes him a mere moments to release the cervical vertebrae from the hold of muscles and sinew, and to cut the vertebrae, severing the head from the body. Let your service continue, Tech Conrad.
Embrace true power.
Now, how do I get over there? All I see is this door right here. How do I even get to that door? Oh, here's something.
Error. Making adjustments. My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Something is howling within the metal housing, as if the machine spirits of this cogitator are lamenting some irreparable loss. Force access to the cogitator systems. Your knowledge of the machine spirits is sufficient to trick the system and subdue it to your will. A falsely query, a crafty manipulation of the controls, and you get what you want. You gain access to the cogitator systems. The device's machine spirit can do nothing to thwart you. Subdued by its defeat, it hides in the depths of its lair. Awaken the cogitator machine spirit. You touch the levers and the reels on the control panel and disturb the slumber of the spirits that reside within this cogitator. The machine dawdles as if still drowsy, but nevertheless performs its assigned function. The cogitator is silent, awaiting new commands.
I tread a path unexplored.
Oh, I'm guessing I gotta go across here.
The world trembles beneath my feet.
Wait, wasn't there another panel in here?
Intriguing. Let's seize the opportunity.
Is this it? Hold on. Let me see. This is shiny. Let's just blow up something shiny. It's usually how it works, right?
There is a fervor in my soul. I need no guidance. Powers unseen uncover my path.
What am I supposed to do?
I tread
Oh
a
my
path
God.
unexplored.
How did I miss this door, dude?
My Auspex has detected something.
Duty prevails.
As you approach the cogitator, you notice a number of deep scratches left by huge claws on its metal surfaces. Despite the apparent damage, the machine seems to be in working condition. Activate the emergency bridge lowering protocol.
You touch the levers and reels on the control panel and disturb the slumber of the spirits that reside within. This cogitator, the machine dawdles as if still drowsy, but nevertheless performs its assigned function. The cogitator is silent, awaiting new commands. The log contains nothing of interest. The maintenance ritual schedule for the sacred machine that moves the bridge, an activation log, and a few notes of a religious nature entered by tech priests. The cogitator's panel has dozens of breakers, buttons, handles, switches, and other control mechanisms. You discover the local data crypt with contents collected by either previous operators or machine spirit itself. Using your access, you study the archive stored on this cogitator. Review the supply protocol. At first glance, the records look like a typical shipping report, but after further reading, it becomes apparent that the focus here is not ore or assembly parts, but augments extracted from living tech priests and spent mass, the flesh of the victims killed either during or for the sake of machine rituals. Review the production protocol. The log looks damaged, the lines are uneven, and some of the values seem impossible. After a few minutes of studying the records, you feel your head begin to swim. Stored data can only be comprehended by a twisted mind touched by chaos corruption. Review the Ascension Protocol. This record looks like a sermon of some mad chaos worshipper. The log, clearly written from someone else's words, mentions the heart that exudes virtue and the cradle that rocks the child of truth. Numerous wires and pipes run to the filthy cages, which are filled with what looks like a conglomeration of human bodies. You cannot make out who is in the cage, but bright blue sparks flash intermittently in the darkness, while the mass of flesh twitches and shudders. Oh, it's Heinrichs. What are you doing, Heinrichs? Heinrichs casts a scrutinizing eye over one of the cages before withdrawing his weapon and approaching to examine what lies inside. Careful, Heinrichs. Look at it. Heinrichs gestures towards the cage closest to you. Through the metal bars, you see it truly is a pile of human bodies, or something that used to be. The monstrously deformed bodies have fused together in places, while others were severed during saws and knives, leaving wounds seeping pus and slime, wounds that are agglutinating and sprouting tendons, rods connecting to wires that run to a nearby cogitator, bristle across the flesh. One of the human heads turns to you. Mercy. Even attempting to speak causes the mutant pain, but he bears the agony and forces out the words. Mercy. Make it stop. Study the mutants closely. You examine the pulsating mass of flesh. The creature in the cage seems to be composed of several bodies joined together. You see no sutures or any other means by which the separate parts could have been connected. Among the layers of meat, you can discern large knots of muscle, various limbs, exposed bones, parts of faces, and entire heads. Only warped sorcery is capable of creating such an abomination while preserving its ability to move on. Go to sleep. The flesh explodes in a fountain of lumps, stinking spray, and bone shards. The gaping wound closes in an instant, and a different face emerges from the fleshy depths in place of the lost head. The mutant's body is pulsing faster, harder, as though the abomination's heart rate has spiked with fear. A many-voiced moan rises up from the other cages at once. The pain was felt by all who shared the mutant's horrific fate. What is this? Heinrich takes in his surroundings and once again fixes his attention on the contents of the nearest cage. I'm beginning to have some idea. The Lex mechanic mentioned the inhabitants of the lower levels who had been imprisoned in their homes. He said some of them were brought here. The cultists did something to those poor people in their own home, and now they are studying the result. The Lex mechanic talked about some kind of slag waste disposal and chaos symbols on machines. What are the archenemy's minions doing to the people of the lower levels? To know the workings of the dark sorcery means allowing corruption into oneself, and Heinrich scowls. These are warped mutations, no doubt. Perhaps there was some side effect, and that is why they were brought here, to be connected to censors and cogitators. Even fallen tech priests who have rejected the Omnissiah are driven by a perverted hunger for knowledge. Here. Have you ever seen anything like this before? I've seen a great deal, Rogue Trader. That includes mutations caused by the sorcery of chaos. But what frightens me the most is not their repulsive form, but what is hiding beneath it. Heinrich frowns. A human soul in torment. Chaos never forgets to ensure its victims retain the ability to suffer. They're people, monstrously mutated, but still people. Heinrich nods grimly. Yes, this is what warp sorcery has done to them, to be precise. I have seen many mutants, those whose features have been distorted under the effects of the archenemy, but this is something beyond all imagining. Why are they hooked up to the cogitators? Heinrich carefully studies the screens of the computing machines. Lingua technis, corrupted by the scrap code, I'm sure. It's unlikely we will be able to extract anything of value from their data crypts. Thinking, Heinrich clenches his fist and bites down on a knuckle, and then recoils when the mutant from the nearest cage reaches a hand out to him through the bars. You... A female voice watches you from within the gloom of the cage, even though half of her head has been turned into a mess of bones and lumpen growths. Her single eye looks at you with a surprising amount of intelligence. You promised us! The words are echoed by the other voices in the depths of the cages. Heinrich leans towards the cage, but at sufficient distance to ensure that the mutant cannot reach him. Who are you talking to? What did they promise you? Who are they? You took us from the inferno. You promised us a reward. Her face contorts in a grimace, and the creature's lips stick together like melted wax. I'll be damned. They can still speak. They remember the people who did this to them. Heinrich balls his fists in powerless rage. Then he frowns in thought. Perhaps a little biomancy will allow us to draw the fragments of knowledge out of them, or it will trigger further changes. Not missing Pasqal's sober interest in proceedings, which he dutifully recorded in a data slate, Abelard raises a brow. Esteemed Magus, these are your comrades. If I may ask, do you feel any compassion for them, or at the very least regret? I regret for the losses that these poor people represent to the Adeptus Mechanicus? Negative. What I am currently observing is not my tech comrades, but merely their biological functioning remains fashioned into a specimen of an unnatural perversion of technology. I'm under no directives to feel any affinity for such
specimens. Heinrichs, let this go. You're only prolonging their suffering. You're wrong. This is our chance to find out more. Extracting some good from suffering is the only thing that will justify the torment of these unfortunate people. It is how they serve the throne one last time. I'm not going to argue with you. It seems to me your mind is already made up. Heinrichs hesitates for a moment, then closes his eyes and raises one hand. You are enveloped in it by an otherworldly chill. The mass of flesh in the cage suddenly rears up. The mutant wrenches open its glued together lips and begins wailing frantically. The shrieking is echoed by a chorus of howls and tortured moans coming from the neighboring cages. The mutant changes before your eyes. The tumors recede like an ebbing tide, revealing an emaciated female face twisting in agony. The woman grasps for air, stretches her own now mobile neck, and exclaims, "Liar! You promised to kill me. You promised me deliverance. Every one of you, everyone told me to have hope, and the pain would go. Accept the truth, for the hope is hope. For that is hope. My only hope is to be freed from this pain. Please make it stop. Make it so. Make it." A lump of flesh behind her head shudders and sends out smooth, fat tentacles that covers her wailing face and drag it into itself. The feel of pressure in your ears from the cage, you hear steady, almost imperceptible sound that fills you with despair and horror. With a sigh, Heinrichs lowers his hand and looks at what the creature within the cage has become. A wetly gleaming mass of meat and gristle that no longer bears any hint of its human origins. It pulses vigorously. And that's it? The lamentation of dying people? No, not just that. What it said about hope sounds like a lie of chaos, which it uses to take root in weak minds. I believe the corrupted tech priest repeated this phrase like an echo of what had been instilled in them. Whatever the cult of the Final Dawn is planning, false hope is a key component of their plan. It's a lead, a small one, but still a lead. That's that, then. But do you know what bothers me, Rogue Trader? The number of people here. There are too few. The lower levels of similar manufactorums are inhabited by millions. What happened to the rest of them? Heinrich shakes his head. I know I won't like the answer. Let's go. We still haven't done what we came here to do. The massive cogitator grows out of the metal bulkheads like a grotesque tumor. A hollow roar sounds from deep within the metal housing. Whatever spurred the computer into action, it has enough power to supply a small command center. As soon as your eyes fall upon the cogitator, you feel a tingling in your temples. Every nook, every component of the machine radiates a sense of wrongness, one that is difficult to explain, but no less palpable for that. It is as though the construct itself defies the laws of physics and perspective. Heinrichs makes a warning gesture, his voice ringing slightly with tension, is threaded with disquiet. Stop, Jen. That is a creation of the arch-enemy. Don't go near it. You have done enough for me and my mission. Don't put yourself at risk now. As soon as Heinrichs takes another step toward the cogitator, it emits a deafening shriek like hundreds of metal needles driving into toughened glass. As though sensing the stranger, wincing, Heinrichs approaches the control panel and bends down toward the screens. Despite the heat clogging the room, you feel an ice-cold breeze. Heinrichs is clearly using his psyker abilities to try to fend off the pernicious effects of the chaos artifact. The Omnissiah's grace has not touched this object. This mechanism was not desecrated, but born flawed and unnatural. Iron most profane. Pasqal unhurriedly produces a data slate.
Initiating observation law. Let not fear stand in the path of knowledge. Keep your distance and wait. A minute passes, then another. You watch Heinrichs examine the cogitator. His eyes scan the screens, his hands darting from the reel to the lever, sometimes hovering uncertainly over the next switch, which immediately receives a coating of frost. At some point, you hear his voice, almost a whisper, barely audible above the clanging, roaring machine. Sacrifices. More and more sacrifices every minute. Heinrichs looks at you, his eyes darker now, appearing almost black in his white face. Hecatome, determinans. The womb of this cursed machine is down the lower levels. The auxiliary enumerator controls the system for delivering the molten waste under the manufacturer's main building. This cogitator is fueled by the energy harnessed from thousands of people, who are flowed beneath our feet as slag waste as we speak. But I cannot imagine the reason for sacrificing all these people. It's inconceivable. Now we know why the fabricator sensor prized this monster so highly. The cursed tech priest and his associates created something that went beyond the limits of the Omnissiah's power. This machine is designed to process myriad possibilities using warp sorcery. It has almost finished its task. It predicts the future, Jin. Heinrichs, are you alright? He tries to muster a reassuring smile, but it comes out looking more like a grimace. I'll be fine. This spawn of chaos has no place on my world. Heinrichs fails to stop you in time. Your blow sends the torn cables whipping out in every direction, scattering sparks and droplets of nauseous scarlet slime.
I fear you not, for I am fear incarnate.
Doubt is for the weak. Faith without deeds is worthless. As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak.
If it serves your cause. I am not your Xenos pet monkey. If it serves your fortune favors the
Dang.
swift.
going way too easy. I knew it.
At your beck and call. I will do my duty. At your beck and call. It will be done. I've seen worse battles than this in my time. Indeed.
I won't object to it. Let's see to it. I won't object to it. Get me a target.
I've suffered worse.
It's really bad.
Just a minor setback.
Ruin beckons. I will triumph. Purpose guides me. I will triumph.
It will be done. I will do my...
Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act. Doubt is for the weak. This is why I was chosen.
I understand your intent. This tedium is beneath me. I am not your Xenos pet monkey. If it serves your cause.
Die here.
It will be done. Indeed. Target well struck. At your beck and call.
Oh no!
Ruin beckons. One step closer.
It will be done. For Valancius! Reduce to dust! Victory is imminent. At your beck and call. I will do my duty. It will be done. I'll do it now.
Request approved. The scriptural prognosis is favorable.
to anger.
As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands. Doubt is for the weak.
I am not your Xenos pet, monkey. If I must. This tedium is beneath me. Ancestors, guide me. If it serves your cause.
At your beck and call. I took care of this one. Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. Indeed. It will be done. Victory is imminent.
But of course, Lord Captain. I won't object to it. Naturally. Let's see to it. I won't object to it.
I will not stoop to this. I need no guidance. Purpose guides me.
But of course, Lord Captain. Naturally. I won't object to it.
I will triumph.
I messed up. I meant to.
Faith without deeds is worthless. As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
At your beck and call. I will do my duty. Follow my lead. It will be done. To your target. Look no further.
Heinrich comes closer and stares at you, his eyes gleaming with naked, scorching rage. What have you done? Years of work, agents' lives sacrificed to uncover the cult's secret, and you destroyed it all in one fell swoop. I did what any loyal servant of the Emperor would. Heinrich is silent for a few moments. Yes, Jin. You acted as the will of the Imperium dictates to all its humble lay people. It was a mistake to trust that you would see the difference between people like me and people like you. At any rate, Rogue Trader, the Inquisitor will hear about this in my report. Well, fucked up.
Embrace true power.
I usually don't do that. The Chaos Space Marine towers over the tech priest, bowed heads like a dark cliff. He is reciting a sermon, slowly, almost chanting. From the mere sounds of his deep, low voice, you break into a cold sweat, and your gorge rises. Listen, for my words reveal to you a path from the darkness onto the primordial truth, which has thrown open its gates for wayward souls, seeking deliverance from the shroud of lies and torments of enslavement. Your minds have shed the bonds of the dogma that has guided you into the abyss. Accept now the hope granted to you by the greatest of the word bearers. Sacrilege, here on the soil of an imperial world. Heinrich hisses through his gritted teeth. I knew our meeting on Riked Minoris wouldn't be the last, but to run into this anathema here, Kiava Gama, did not merely succumb to heresy, Jin. Your world is in the clutches of the greatest evil known to the Imperium. Pasqal gazes at his former brethren and whispers dryly, the no-sphere signature of the defective units have been archived. In accordance with the sacred commandments, I will tolerate no heresy and hereby sentence you to categorical disposal without redemption. Death to Chaos Spawn. Chaos Space Marine roars in fury as the tech priests turn and charge you as if on cue.
Your Emperor won't save you! chaos.
Just designate a target. I move as if unseen. I understand your intent. If I must.
Chaos guides me. Ah!
Is the reward.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith without deeds is worthless. As the Emperor commands, I act. Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. Strike is a prayer. As the Emperor commands is why I was chosen.
Indeed. At your beck and call. Pain and duty go hand in hand. It will be done. At your beck, exemplary strike.
High momentum.
Sow the seeds of discord. One step closer. I will triumph. I need no guidance. There is no mercy found in my heart.
Indeed. I will do my duty. Gray hair, sure hair. It will be done.
Through chaos, I stride.
I need a foothold. For the throne's glory. But of course, Lord Captain. Naturally. I won't object to it.
The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Running binary override. My vow is to serve.
Be wary! The veil thins! This witchcraft!
Blasphemous power!
And their unholy works!
Oh,
My reckoning will be swift. If it serves your cause. This tedium is beneath me. I move swiftly to strike.
We have one down.
Make them please out of my way!
Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it. Faith without deed fabricated.
At your beck and call. Indeed. It will be done. Victory is imminent. Target well struck. It will be done.
Purpose guides me.
Let's see to it. For the throne, your reckoning is due. Someone's death wish is mine to grant. Everyone, step aside. But of course, Lord Captain. Holy terror, smite your enemies. Naturally. Let's see to it. I won't object to it. For the throne's glory.
Ruin beckons. Purpose guides me.
I won't object to it. Let's see to it. Naturally. I won't object to it. Let's see to it. But of course, Lord Captain.
Request denied. Request approved. The scriptural prognosis is favorable. Request approved. Function successfully terminated.
I serve the ruinous powers. I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it.
High momentum.
We'll rule the stars
Oh, I didn't mean
themselves.
to do that. Oh, no.
I will do my duty. Indeed. At your beck and I took care of this one. A tactically sound approach. One fewer target. What advice do you seek?
Oh shit. Upon noticing you, Cubist Delphim straightens.
You hear the clanging and groaning of metal as if the pistons and bearings in the fabricator sensor's augmented body have fused together. Repellent scraps and screeches punctuate his speech. The probability of navigating your way, of reaching the inner line, was negligible. The primordial truth guards me and my work, then why is it that this variable has yet to be eliminated? It appears that your masters have turned their backs on you, and now you are on your own. An impossibility. I am not a variable that can be extracted from the process without acutely affecting the probability of its successful realization. The fabricator sensor freezes. Possibly a stress test. Unexpected. You can still save yourself. Let us stop this nightmare together. Heinrich laughs scathingly before immediately cutting himself off with a hard no. Your fragile logical construct infers my agreement to once again become a slave to the Deus Mechanicus, an erroneous assertion considering the revelations divulged to me by the truth. For too long was I a prisoner of dogmas, a static unit of obedience, but one who has learned of freedom, that is lawless creation cannot be returned to that cage. I've seen things you can never comprehend, true technology. I touched it with my tools. I grasped its mysteries and potential. I beheld depths that cannot be forgotten, and now nothing can drag me back into the darkness of ignorance. Why don't I just kill you along with your minions and be done with it? I would not count on such an outcome, although probability recalculation shows that even your unforeseen appearance is disappointing. Resilience can serve progress. Where else would I have found a suitable specimen for practical testing? The fabricator sensor straightens his back and shoulders. You hear a mounting hum, as if some powerful turbines, followed by heavy footsteps and the grinding of metal against metal. Oh. The fabricator sensor lets out a binary trill. Witness the weapon designed to carry out the glory of the true gods into the darkness of the Cronus expanse. My shepherd has sent me one of his iron angels, so that its very presence may instill faith and awe in the hearts of his flock. Accept the greatness of the primordial truth, united with the might of the new Kiabagama, and perish. I shall purge Kiabagama of your corruption. Accept this new sacrifice, sacred truth.
Your struggles are in vain. road take you?
As the Emperor commands, I act. Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith without deeds is worthless. My Emperor! As the Emperor commands, I act.
For this affront! I approach the designated position. I understand your intent. If I must. If it serves your cause.
I will triumph. I need no guidance. Ruin beckons.
I'll do it. As the Emperor commands.
Amidst the carnage, I find purpose.
For the throne's glory. Naturally. I won't object to it. But of course, Lord Captain.
Victory is imminent. At your beck and call. Indeed. I've seen worse battles than this in my time. I will do my duty. It will be done.
As the tactical narrative dictates. The scriptural prognosis is favorable. Request approved. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Request approved.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
Rejoice in battle! Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, strike is a prayer. I'll do it.
Scorn the pains.
This tedium is beneath me. If it serves your cause. I am not your Xenos pet, monkey.
Oh my god, you actually missed.
I understand your intent.
No, no.
Purpose guides me. triumph. Armamentum.
Victory is imminent. Indeed. No matter the cost. It will be done. An exemplary strike.
Jeez Louise.
I took care of this one.
Armamentum.
I will do my duty. Great hand. You go hand in hand. It will be done. At your beck and call.
Whispers, guide my hand.
Indeed. It will be done. Victory is imminent.
I'll put my psychic abilities to use. I won't object to it. Naturally. I'm done with this one. I won't object to it.
It will be done. Target well struck. Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. Reduce the dust.
Explorers know one route. Forward.
Oh my god, Pasqal, brother, please.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone. Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it.
That's crazy.
I've suffered worse.
Swift and silent. I am not your Xenos pet, monkey.
Oh,
High momentum.
I feel the power surging. Get me a target. But of course, Lord Captain. I won't object to it. For the throne's glory. Let's see to it.
My place is at the fore. Indeed.
You interrupted my thoughts.
the tech priest tears himself away from reading his data slate and looks up at you. His respiratory augmetic is missing. Instead, the lower half of his face is covered in deathly pale artificial flesh. You take note of the multitude of fresh augmetics attached to his head. They seem to have been inserted haphazardly, and pus is seeping from the untreated wounds. I heard your footsteps in the void. You are von Valancius, are you not? Pasqal exchanges a series of binary signals with the tech priest before saying menacingly, initiating arrest procedure. This unit is using a fabricated identification code, which constitutes a grade 4 transgression. Smile ominously. You are a heretic, are you not? Merely a seeker of knowledge. However, the experiments I have conducted extend far beyond the allowed limits of an ordinary transmechanic tasked with maintaining a planetary box array. But ever since I received that strange signal, my ears have been open to what I had previously considered to be forbidden knowledge. Every night since then, I have been turning my Vox station to that very frequency and listening to the voices. Am I a heretic? The fabricator sensor didn't think so. I conducted inspections, but he did not prohibit my research. Later, when a mysterious visitor revealed the truth to his optics, he came to me once more. I nurtured the scrap node for him in the depths of my mind. It lives there still, eating through my synapses and building new connections that are open to the new knowledge of change. Is freedom heresy? If so, then I am a heretic. The reason for the failure of this unit's operations has been established. You have fallen victim to the cognitive corruption of chaos. Your computing process have been disrupted. You are defective. A defective. I revealed the truth. I comprehend, just as the Messiah commands. Meanwhile, your mind thrashes about within the cage of data valves. So which one of us is defective?
Pasqal, do you have any preferences regarding the killing of your former tech comrade? Pasqal switches to Technica Lingua, his fox erupting in a series of binary signals. There is no need for secrecy. Let him understand. The heretic nods in your direction with a smile. Pasqal glances at you with worry and says in Gothic, his voice doubtful, "Following a voluntary surrender, I will be willing to commute the punishment for immediate direct destruction to arrest in isolation for the purpose of conducting an exhaustive interrogation." A wise decision, Pasqal. The heretic's deranged smile remains on his dead lips. Request denied, tech comrade. You will have to pull what I know out of my head.
The absurdity of your struggle amuses me.
Scriptural prognosis is favorable. My vow is to serve. Running binary override. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. The scriptural prognosis is favorable. Running binary is significant value.
Cleanses the body. Guided by faith. Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. Faith without deeds is worthless. As the Emperor commands, you, my Emperor. Dedicated. Doubt is for the weak.
I need no guidance. Purpose guides me. One step closer. I will triumph.
As the Emperor commands, you, my Emperor!
High momentum.
I move as
Oh,
if
no,
unseen.
no, 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 no.
cancel. Oh.
This tedium is beneath me. I understand your intent. If it serves your cause. If I must.
The Emperor is on our side. But of course, Lord Captain. I won't object to it. For the throne's glory.
It will be done. At your beck and call. I will do my duty. Follow my lead. It will be done. For von Valancius! Indeed. I took care of this one. I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
Advancing. Request approved. Running binary override.
High momentum.
My vow is to serve.
I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, none can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Descend upon the weak. Purpose guides me. Thy will triumphs. There is no mercy found in my heart. Ruin beckons.
At your beck and call. Grey hair, sure hair.
Fortune favors the swift. If it serves your cause. I understand your intent. Another soul slips beyond the veil.
Pasqal stands motionless as he stares at the heretic's corpse. After a long silence, he finally says in a hollow voice, I am taking his neural cogitator. The data contained within must be analyzed to supplement the catechism of maintenance and operation. Indeed, who knows what fascinating things he had in his head. This statement is true. The value of the data justifies the risk. Pasqal leans over the corpse, activates the sampling tool on one of his mechadendrites, and plunges it into the tangle of augmetics, covering the heretic's skull.
I align my path with yours. For now.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Sharp pain pierces your head and the light dims in your eyes. You smell smoke and burning. You feel a wave of nausea. Your legs buckle and your knees hit the metal floor. In that same moment, the manufactorum surrounding you disappears in a whirlwind of mist, ash, and gray shadows. Struggling against the elements, you can barely raise your head to look. Your eyes sting and burn, but through the tears you see it, a colossal silhouette rising above you. The roaring tempest is unable to shake the mighty figure. Who or what are you? The warrior's inhuman eyes bore into you. I am the master of those who have been felled by your hand in the halls of the primordial truth. I am Uralon the cruel. The souls of my followers return to the fount of power they served, crying out to me to cast my gaze toward this sacrilege. And what do I see? Yet another lackey of the corpse emperor. The giant's voice causes the storm raging around you to die down somewhat, as if the very sound of his voice is enough to make the whirlwind subside. You glance at the huge warrior and notice on his chest a winding azure symbol. The shades of blue seem to glimmer and mingle together. What do you want with me? I want to look upon the one who has disrupted my flock's duties and my master's plans, that warrior from my legion, the fabricator's censor. You think of their deaths as a triumph? However, it is but a minor hindrance on our path. There are other worlds that serve our goals. There are other sources of plasteel and adamantine. Revel in your victory. It will change nothing. Nevertheless, the blood in your veins whisper to the spirits that you warrant a closer look. Yes. You are a descendant of the rogue trader whose warrant Conrad Voitvir sought to obtain. By defiling the relic and binding it to himself with the tethers of the Empyrean, he was meant to become my servant, a rogue trader who would do the work of the truth, but then you interfered. Could it be that you wish to gain the true gods' favor instead? Do you wish to represent the corpse's relic to me and serve the truth? Hear your very blood calling, begging you to submit to me? What would be the point of futile defiance? You waste your time trying to tempt me. It is not blood that defines a person's deed, only their will, and my will is thus begone from my mind. His expression twists in pain as he stares at you in rage and bafflement. Pitiful insect. You dare? A gust of wind sweeps Erlon's figure away without a trace. The mist around you begins to dissipate, revealing the dark halls of the manufactorum and leaving behind an oppressive sense of powerlessness. Abelard looks you over worriedly, then signs in cantankerous relief. That was a close call. For the sake of Holy Terra, if I had lost a second rogue trader in such a paltry span of time, my only option would have been to shoot myself out of unending shame. I sensed the presence of another psyker. Someone made contact with you mentally, then tried to harm you with sorcery. I did what I could. You at least appear unharmed. Can you remember what you saw? It was a Chaos Space Marine. One of the traitors to the Imperium. I don't think it was he who touched your mind. I wouldn't have had the strength to go up against a psyker from the ranks of those monsters. He might have forced some mortal to do his bidding. Perhaps it was through the same helpless medium that he sensed the deaths of his henchmen. Heinrich looks away and frowns. Such indescribable power to have reached out to your mind at such a distance. He said something about Theodora, about how the blood in my veins will lead me to serve chaos. Sister Argenta, who has been watching all of this intensely, grows pale and makes us the sign of the Aquila to ward off evil. Heinrich stares at you, whether in surprise or anger you do not know. Then he gives a curt nod. I see. We can theorize later, although I will say, Jen, that his words do not leave much room for interpretation. The manufactorum looks around you looks the same as before the vision. Maybe the shadows have grown a little deeper and darker. You dust yourself off and continue on your journey through the darkness. The world's industry heart has fallen to corruption, but numerous faint Vox signals from the periphery indicate that the planet's small manufacturing clusters survived without succumbing to the heretics. The sacred machines and hallowed lathes from these abodes have been reverently transported to the safety of the ship's holds. The fate of Kiawagama hangs in the balance. Restore the manufactorum. Restore the manufactorum in the shortest possible time without subjecting the wounded planet to a merciless purge. The blast furnaces are lit again. Machines once more fill the air with screeches and squeals, and mag trains of wagons stretch in lines from one workshop to the next. But the cogitator's binaric chants carry alarming rumors of malevolent and foul traces of corruption, still lurking in the deepest chambers of the manufactorum.